What is up, y'all? It is your host, Rennie, and you're listening to another episode of the Call Me Crazy podcast. So today I'm holding the mic instead of putting it on myself, which is something new. So this wasn't the original recording space, nor do I have my original co-host. He's actually downstairs right now. But on the Call Me Crazy podcast, and as you know, just being Rennie Hunter, we try to make the most of every situation. So I was like, hey, we're waiting to get into the studio right now. We're having such great conversations in the hallway. We might as well take advantage of it and just set up instead of, keeping the convo for ourselves. So and we'll kind of circle back around with this once Dimitri comes, but it's really cool that now I started the podcast and it was something that I was asking people to be on. It was like, oh, can you be on my podcast? Here's the 3 to 5 episodes I've had thus far. Check it out. I'd love you to be on. And now we're, into the 40s in terms of episode numbers. And now I have people asking to be on the podcast. So Dimitri, who is not here, is your bandmate. And he is one of those people. He reached out to me after seeing his neighbor and friend on the pod and was like, I'd love to set something up. I love people like that. Go-getters, let's connect. We're in the same area. We can definitely help each other in some kind of capacity. So, let's set it up. So if you guys want to intro yourselves and who and what you play in the band.
I'm Nelion. I play guitar.
I'm Marcus. I play piano.
I go by HG and I do the drums.
So someone can, claim this question, but what is your band name?
Cosmic Error.
Does someone want to explain that? Where did that come from?
HD, do you know the...
So we were shuffling around band names. We kept running into problems where band names were taken already. So what ended up happening was we set up a bracket of names that we just randomly generated and threw in some other stuff that we've used in the past. Dimitri used Cosmic Era as a band name for a band he was in high school.
Oh, okay.
And so after we did all the votes among all of the members at the time with a bracket, I think it was out of 64 names, Cosmic Era was the one that won out. And so that's the one we've been sticking with.
Nice.
Tried to be really mathy about it.
Yeah. So funny enough, this series that we're currently in, it's the Who is Rennie series. So like I said, we're nearing towards the 40 zone for episode numbers, and I thought, I've been focusing on people's businesses, their brands, their visions, their opinions, their hopes, their dreams, and now I kind of think that people should get to know the host. So I set out to whoever wanted to be on the podcast in previous weeks or months, that this is going to be the series, and if you'd like to interview me, this is the time to jump on. So I know you guys thought Dimitri would be handling the brunt of the work, but does anyone have a question for me? We're just meeting each other right now, so it's a free-for-all, really.
Did you grow up around here?
No, so I actually grew up I was born in Manhattan. I was raised in Queens until about middle school. I moved to Stanford in middle school, and I was there until probably the height of the pandemic is when I moved to Norwalk.
Okay. I remember you mentioning earlier that you were with your dogs in New York, so you were visiting home.
Yeah.
Okay. What made you pick Norwalk of all places?
So I moved to Connecticut with my mom. It's actually funny. I've been frequenting Connecticut for years prior. My mom had a boyfriend who lived in Darien, very rich white man, country club. Everyone knew his last name kind of deal. So I experienced that side of Connecticut first, coming from Queens, not having a whole ton. And then my mom moved here for a job, like I said, when I was in middle school, about around that time. And when the pandemic was happening, I was living in Springdale in Stamford with my boyfriend at the time and my 2 dogs. And I couldn't keep up with the rent payments. I actually had a stint of being homeless right before the pandemic hit. So the dogs and I were living on people's couches and kind of out of the car, and most of the nights I would have like only had enough money to acquire like an Airbnb, like a 1-room stay for us until my next paycheck. So it went from Springdale to a little bit of homelessness. I think it was like we moved 11 times in 7 months.
Oh.
Living out of 2 suitcases, had to give my cat up because you cannot live out of a car with a litter box. And then once the pandemic hit, like I said, I moved back in with my mom in Norwalk. We moved into a 1-bedroom. The pickings were slim, and we honestly didn't have much money to expense for rent, especially with the unknown on the horizon.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then we moved into a 2-bedroom, and now we're actually moving again into a nicer situation, still a 2-bedroom, but I'm thankful that I can be with my mom during this time and kind of, recoup from those years.
Okay, well, that's awesome. That things are getting better. And I have recently made an upgrade in my living situation too, so I know exactly where you're coming from. I'm glad you're catching a break.
Yeah, thank you so much. So have you guys lived in Norwalk? Do you guys live in Norwalk?
I'm from Norwalk originally, but I grew up in the South. So, like, I grew up in South Carolina. So coming back up here was more of like the reason to kind of make money, in a sense. Norwalk got really expensive when I came up here, so I currently live in Black Rock.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, like even during the pandemic,
I feel like Black Rock's like low-key more expensive, no?
it is now.
Yeah.
At the time, the apartment that I was living in, like before COVID hit, I was paying like not even $1,000 a month. That 1 bedroom. Then when I moved out of there because of certain circumstances, the prices went up. They doubled it.
Yeah,
So
no,
it's-
I'm not surprised.
I mean, Bridgeport is becoming expensive too. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Fairfield doesn't like to claim Bridgeport, but Bridgeport is definitely claiming Fairfield with these prices right now.
Exactly.
But that's awesome. So you came back to Norwalk because it was slow in the South. I mean, it is like the price of life is kind of cheaper out there.
Yeah, but you can't find a job. It was funny because I literally had that song from LL Cool J going back to.
Still waiting for him? Yep.
It's
Do you
funny.
know that guy? Or he just knows that we've been waiting?
This is Dimitri. He just makes friends everywhere.
He's a people's person.
Upstairs.
Oh, okay.
He's like, "Oh, you guys know Andy?" We're like, "Yeah," and then he started just chuckling at us.
Oh, damn.
No.
That's a great sign.
Yeah,
It's a
very
perfect
good
sign,
sign. Shout out to Andy. Hope he's all good. We were supposed to be using his space, but again, no incommunicado is what we've come to the conclusion on. But so you were saying the South was just slow?
Here.
It's very. I mean, it's great that it's slow because you can take your time and do what you got to do. But like, if you wanted to live there, you would have to have some money. Like what is Connecticut's minimum wage here? It's like 15. It's like half of that right now.
Wow.
So it's like you're looking at $7.25. Like, still.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's definitely understandable. Are you moving within Norwalk right now?
I've been in Bridgeport the
Okay.
last 2 years with my girlfriend. Thanks. I lived in Norwalk with my parents from like 2000 until 2020.
Okay.
2020, I would spend a couple of days in Norwalk and then spend a couple of days with my girlfriend in Bridgeport. And I just stopped going back to Norwalk
Yeah.
at some point in time without officially moving out in 2021. And I haven't slept or spent a whole lot of time at my parents' house ever since. I would typically just go down there like once a week or something like that to do laundry. But now we have a laundry room in the basement floor of our building, so.
That's awesome.
It is, yeah. Laundry has always been a huge pain in the ass, even when I lived with my parents and the laundry was like just the next room over.
Yeah.
So it became an even bigger pain once I had to get my car and at least 20 minutes of driving involved.
Exactly. No, I definitely get that. I have so much laundry. I have so many clothes, but also I go through like bed sheets and things of that nature very fast because my dogs do indeed sleep on my bed with me. I know it's an urban myth that black people don't let that happen, but this black girl does. So my mom has actually commented on it. She's like, you wash your sheets a lot. I'm like, listen, these dogs go out in the morning for an hour every day. They're muddy, they're this, they're that. You know, as much as I clean them before they come into the house, there's definitely some grime coming into my bed. So yeah, laundry is it's a pain for sure. Dimitri, do you want to sit down and introduce yourself? We kind of like half introed you before you got here.
Yeah, hello.
This is the moment you've been waiting for. It's so timid. Come on, sit down.
Just trying to find a spot here.
We got a whole wall.
Okay, well, I'm here now. Hi, HG.
Hello. The other half of the rhythm section. I don't think he likes being this far away.
Yeah, man, we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Hello, my name is Dimitri. Nice to meet you.
What you play?
I play the 4-string monophonic instrument called the bass guitar. That'd so fancy. Oh, we have to be fancy, my friend, you see.
Sidebar, I have a guitar. I probably don't even know like what kind of guitar it is, but I bought it peak of pandemic, spent a good $300. She's beautiful, and I have yet to play her because I'm not only a visual learner, but I'm someone who needs you to correct me like in the moment. So like I thought I got the A chord down pat, then I went to my grandparents and my grandfather was like, that's not the A. And I was like, well, she said it was the A on YouTube and I just kept doing it like that. So now I've remembered to do the A this way. So I need someone to be like, Renee, that's not how you do it. I also know I need to chop these off, but.
So I teach. And I was teaching in Norwalk. Now I'm a substitute teacher in Weston. A lot of students would get interested in music from having me as a teacher, but the girls would be interested in playing like guitar or bass. And I tell them, like, okay, well, you see those? Yeah, you're gonna have a very uncomfortable time unless you take care of those. And for a lot of girls, that's an immediate like, okay, not doing it.
No, I for sure would. I periodically, like, this nail broke, so I'm just gonna chop all the rest off. Like, I don't really have a problem with that. So definitely let me know your rates, because I want to learn.
Teach.
Oh, you don't teach?
I teach drums.
Oh, okay. Well, I can't afford the drums right now.
Or if you need help with math or physics, I got you there too.
Okay.
But I have had friends who are women that come to the gym with me, for example, the same type of thing, where it's like, you know, if you're deadlifting, you are likely to break a nail because of the pressure that you're placing on it when you're gripping the bar and stuff like that.
I feel like it also has to do with like how strong your nails are, because like for me, I don't think you were here yet, but I was telling the guys that, you know, I used to be a personal trainer.
Yep.
Used to be a boxing instructor, Zumba instructor. So nails were never a problem for me, but these are also my real nails. So it's a lot harder to like break something that's on the bed versus...
we'll have fun conversations. No, I've been training like the Olympic lifts, like the snatch and clean jerk for 6 years. Like it's, it keeps me sane.
No, I love that. Who else works out? I just got back into the gym.
I do a bit of working out myself. I mean, one of my favorite things to do is the cardio. So I mean, you'll catch me on the treadmill. You'll catch me like doing like even if I'm not there, I'll like jog around the actual gym itself. Do you go to fitness? Do you go to Edge, to LA, or do you just go on your own house?
So I used to work at Revolution Training in Stanford. It's a boxing gym, and they went from the Harbor Point area and moved to a significantly larger gym. It's still like a small gym. It's not a big box gym. It's a Black-owned, family-owned business. But yeah, we have a gym now that's 3 times the size, and I am blessed enough to be an old employee and a member of the gym. So, yep, I go there. I love hiking with the dogs. I feel like you can get sometimes, depending on the elevation, I'll literally feel sore from a hike the next day. So I love doing that. Cardio is hard for me. I'm a smoker and I'm asthmatic, so
It's a little ironic there, if you ask me.
so it's kind of hard, not gonna lie. But I definitely like see the freedom in running. Like when people run, when I run, even when I'm like out of breath afterwards, I'm like, it does something with the endorphins. I do feel
When
it.
you're running, your body just kind of tells itself, all right, I need to go in this general direction. I mean, your brain literally has to map out the direction, but everything else after that, when you're like running or, you know, cross country or sprinting or like a nice little slow jog, it like your brain can still think and like be like, all right, cool, I can make some plans or some things like that. And you feel productive physically,
Yep.
and then it produces production mentally.
You like doing the potato pull-ups.
Yeah, the potato pull-ups. Potato pull-ups.
You see, the problem with me is I need to learn to do the donut put-downs.
Put down.
My problem is I can't get enough lobster rolls.
Honestly, lobster isn't that bad. You use a good mayo that's healthy fats. You use honestly, I don't.
Good protein source.
Yeah, good protein source, and then when you slap
Electrolytes.
some gluten-free bread on there, I don't demonize carbs the way most people do. I probably don't have a traditional mindset on how the world views diet culture, and I'm more for the long game than the short game. So I definitely think making, attainable goals and not taking everything away from yourself all at once is more sustainable than being like 75 hard. Let me read 50 pages every day and work out twice and drink a whole liter of water.
The tricky part with the fitness aspect is because social media allows a lot of the top athletes to have more of a presence in people's sort of regular sort of viewing patterns. And the problem is that there's a point where performance in fitness diverges from health. So for example, if you want to clean and jerk, 180, 200 kilos, you can definitely do that, but you need to potentially put on a lot of weight in order to get stronger. You need to make it a job. You need to be able to eat a lot of food and sleep a lot to recover from that. And if you want to compete at the highest level, potentially switch to performance enhancing drugs.
Yeah.
And a lot of that, if you're trying to include it as part of a typical 40-hour work week, where you're trying to have a life outside of that, it becomes impossible to maintain the recovery needed in order to make that happen.
Yeah.
And so what happens is that your health starts to deteriorate.
Yeah.
When people hear of issues of people like powerlifters, hurting their lumbar spine, or Olympic weightlifters hurting their knees, or sprinters needing hip or knee replacements, that's because they have decided, I want to be the best, health be damned,
Right.
type of thing. And so there needs to be that sort of moderation where you say, I want to be as good as I can at this, but I'm not going to sacrifice my health for it. And that's hard for a lot of people to do when they see the best uploading lifts every single week from their training sessions.
A lot
Yeah.
of them disregard the Pyrrhic victory, As you just mentioned, they'll be like, okay, I attained, this award, or this achievement, or this gold medal, but, I guess I'm not gonna be able to walk for the next like 2 weeks.
Yeah, it comes at a cost also with the mental health as well. I definitely grew up watching a lot of bodybuilders and being fascinated with the dedication to the craft. And I was actually talking to an ex-boyfriend of mine the other day, and I was like, you know, I'm back in the gym, I'm feeling good. And he was like, honestly, Rennie, like 2017, 2018, we were going to the gym like crackheads. Like there's no reason to go that hard, especially with what we do, right? For him, he's in the Air Force, so he keeps up with that kind of thing at this point in his life. But for me, I just want to feel good mentally, and I want to feel like if I'm in a desperate situation, I could either fight someone off or pick myself up from something, be able to shimmy, do certain kind of functional movements that might take more strength than just your average Joe or Jane would have, just living life, sleeping, eating, waking up, and not doing much activity, really. So it's definitely shifted for me. Like, I feel like for a lot of my life, it was trying to look a certain way and then to look another way, right? We went into like the really skinny phase, and then now it's like big butt phase, and then we're kind of like veering out of.
I joke with people that gains are temporary, body dysmorphia is permanent.
Yes. No, that is not a joke. That is completely.
The only thing you keep from going to the gym is the body dysmorphia.
Yeah.
The gains will come and go.
Exactly. That is so unfortunately true, and I love that you shine a light on it because, you know, I have friends, I have family who I'm like, you're doing great, you're feeling great, but I definitely understand and can appreciate body dysmorphia in its truest form because, you know, as a bigger person you can have it, as a smaller person you can have it, as an in-between, like it doesn't discriminate on who it attacks. Oh.
Be careful.
Dimitri, once they get into the elevator, I'm gonna hand it to you, and then like maybe you can shoot off some of the questions you prepared.
Oh, sure.
Before-
Yeah, definitely.
Before I skedaddle, let me time check and look at.
It's 1 o'clock right in the dark.
Okay, perfect. Okay, perfect. Let me fill my meter for like 15. I think that should be good. And then, guys, you can just plan another day to like finish this up, and you know, whenever you have another studio session that I can make, I can pop by. You know.
I'll make sure Andy's alive.
Yeah, make sure. I mean, geez, let's make sure he's alive today. But
We do regular practices like 5 minutes that way too.
okay,
So-
awesome. During the week or the weekend?
Usually on a Sunday.
Okay, nice.
But my schedule's crazy, so who knows when.
Right.
It's at my place.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm very busy outside of band and work.
Yeah, that makes sense. You seem to have like a very balanced life.
Well, it's like I'm a sub in Weston, so I deal with all of those, you know, rich white kids. I take care and teach right now I'm teaching the 8th grade in English class.
Okay.
So that's what I'm doing right now. That's the day job. And then there's also tutoring in the evenings,
Okay.
which is very busy. I'm in grad school, so that's also busy. And then I'm going to the gym 5 days a week, and that's also busy. And then I'm trying to work with these little kids.
Yeah.
Hey, the lunk alarm doesn't ring for me, pal.
Yeah. But it is just a lot.
Yeah, no, for sure. I can definitely appreciate that. And then I always say, then I have, is it the 4 S's or the 5 S's? Shower, shit, smoke, sleep. Maybe there's a 5th one. Maybe it's just 4. But yeah. That's like my outside of everything I'm doing. Like I still have to do that.
I would say the 5 are shit, shower, shave, smoke, sleep.
Oh, shave. Okay, like I don't shave that regularly, so yeah, I don't have the facial.
Yeah, no,
I mean, I actually do. I do, but not that much, not a ton.
You know, a little here, a little there.
Yeah.
You know.
All right.
Self-care is important.
Self-care is important. All right, Dimitri prepared some questions for your girl. So before we skedaddle out of here.
You sure you're ready for that?
Yeah. I'm ready. I'm always ready. Everyone used to say, "Is Rennie ready?" She's ready.
Okay.
But
Okay. What are your thoughts on sudden stratospheric warming?
wait. The last three words blended into each other, so I'm not even
I said sudden stratospheric warming.
sudden. Okay, can I get a?
No, I was just joking with you about that one. I was just asking you already. But you know what I really wanted to ask you? What was that pivotal nexus moment that brought you into this point of saying that this is like my form of expression that I wanted to do this? Is it something that's always been there, or did it like develop over time and you're just all like, okay, you know, I see the whole world around me is full of technology and advances, and everybody's able to extrapolate their data and then immediately put it out there to the world. Was it during this period, or was it was it forming as a child?
Yeah, so I started creating content and putting it out there on YouTube in like 2010. So Windows Movie Maker, editing, uploading,
Go back to the
yeah. So I have put I started being in front of a camera at, a couple months old. I was, I think from like 5 months until about middle school, I was a working model, child model and child actor. So I was comfortable in front of the camera. Then you got the webcam, and that's when I started making the, videos on YouTube, music videos to different songs, literally everything and anything, just going on there and talking. Unfortunately, that was pre-archive days, so if you wanted to delete a video on YouTube, it would delete forever, and it got to a point after 2010 where I'm like, oh, these are super cringy, just delete. I wish I could unearth those today. But yeah, it started pretty young, and I kind of kept up with YouTube for the past like 10, almost 15 years, just constantly creating content. It always changed because the tides always changed. It was tag videos, it was makeup gurus, then I got into fitness and I was able to put on my fitness content. It was vlogging, showing people my life. And once I, actually going back to what we were talking about in the hallway, hit my kind of breaking point, moment, right? I was in a extremely abusive relationship, and once I was able to get myself out of there, I was like, I want to get back to YouTube, but for safety, I don't want this person to know what I'm doing every day, so I can't vlog. What can I do? So in 2020, I started interviewing people, but there was really no rhyme or reason. It was just on my YouTube channel, so it wasn't on any podcast platforms, and so I was just interviewing interesting people. I feel like I have amazing conversations all the time, and people would benefit from listening to them. So I had like probably under 10 interviews in 2020 that I did. It was a great way to connect with people when things were a little bit weird. And then I was like, I want to do this. Like, I want to actually do this podcast thing. So, that was like 2022. Yeah, 2022 is when I relaunched the podcast. And that was like my way to come back to YouTube, share some of my life, but not have everyone know what I'm doing at any given moment. I definitely went through times with sharing my life where like I was crying yesterday and then people were able to see that the next day. That's not really beneficial to my growth personally. Maybe it helps some people out there, but talking about things from a higher perspective and not in the moment like craziness, I like this setup better.
I have another. Now, here's a follow-up. Do you feel heard?
Do I feel heard? Yeah, I mean, I say it all the time, and I get annoying. I'll text people and be like, please leave like a review on my podcast page, leave a rating and review. And when I read some of these reviews, I mean, I just had a girl tell me the other day that the podcast has been on hiatus for 2 weeks. I was having trouble with one, my external hard drive, and then two, my editing software. So I was like, like I said earlier too in the hallway, like when time is needed, I don't really stress it, and I'm just like, I'll just let it be. So I was on a hiatus for 2 weeks, and someone messaged me and was like, hey, where's the podcast? Like, it's a part of my weekly routine. It really shocked me that like I'm a part of people's week in that way. Like I thought people were, I hate to say this, but like viewing out of pity, not pity, but like wanting to support me rather than I'm actually benefiting from this every single week. So that's really cool.
Okay, big question.
Big question.
What do you want to do when you grow up?
What do I want to do when I grow up?
I'm not grown up.
This.
You just want to continue doing this?
I love what I do right now. So if I can continue on this trajectory of just doing, like I already get to do what I love every single day. So if I can make more money, help more people, build more businesses, and talk more shit and actually get paid for it at some point, like I would love that.
Man, I love talking shit. Yeah, fuck. I want to ask you, what do you think is one of the most inspirational things out there in life is?
For me, it's obviously going to be different for everyone.
Of course, with the matter of perspective, but it's your perspective.
Yeah, so my perspective is my inspiration is what I can do for others and what I'm able to do for myself. So just being able to go from someone who was always paycheck to paycheck to being able to book a trip to Africa for myself, like that was something that I didn't think I'd be able to do in the near future. And I did that for myself for my birthday back in August. So to have that wiggle room.
I'm sorry, I gotta ask this.
Yeah.
What day in August are you born?
17th.
I'm the 31st.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Just
Leo. There's a lot of Leo energy in
I'm actually a
here.
Virgo, actually.
Oh. I know nothing about astrology, by the way.
You're right.
I'm a cusper. Nice. So yeah, like the motivation of just having the wiggle room. I mean, even being able to give my dogs like regular kibble, and now they eat only human grade kibble. Like it's just those little havings just like motivate. Oh, I want more. Like that's so exciting. Like being able to take a day off from my business and go see family whenever I want. Someone tells me there's a basketball game, someone tells me there's a graduation, someone tells me there's a wedding, paid time off. I don't need paid time off. I don't need to request time off. Like I can actually just take that time.
Be your own boss.
Yeah. So that motivates me a lot. And like just the hope of, my different initiatives that I want to see through in my lifetime, like that comes with capital. Like you can help people to a certain degree with no money, and then you can also help the masses once you can have a certain reserve, and that's what I want to do. So.
Okay, this next question is to actually appease the subsection of the darkest recess of my mind.
Okay.
Who the hell eats human grade kibble?
No.
Obviously humans.
Yeah, but like...
No. Human grade just means like a human could eat this and be okay and sustain life.
Typical
like,
FDA.
yeah.
Okay, just yeah, sorry, it's just a curiosity.
No, yeah, I've never tried it, but my oldest dog Sasha is very finicky with food, and it's the one food that she has always just like ate without a problem. So
there are people out there who feed their animals and they're like, hey, what type of stuff am I feeding you?
Yeah.
Stick your little finger in the cat food.
Yeah.
There's a funny meme that I saw a while back, going back to the fitness thing, where someone was looking at the nutrition labels for dog food and saw that it had 15 grams of protein per serving. And then they're like, I know what I must do, but I don't know if I have the strength to do it.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like the highest protein shake I've ever seen, like in one single serving, was like 24 grams of protein. So I'm going to go with that instead of the kibble. But For sure, I can appreciate the dedication and just the convenience of having that there. All right,
You
you
go to the gym, they just have a bag of dog food, just go
Yep, just a nice scoop.
stick that in the blender.
So now it brings me up to my next question. How far are you willing to take this?
Oh, to the absolute ends of the earth. Like, I'm definitely a workaholic. I definitely love progression in any form. So like when I'm back at the gym, I'm like really trying hard to just make a habit of it and not track myself. But it's like in my innate, like, you know, character to just want to be like, all right, this is how much I was benching last week. What can I get up to now? You know, I edited X amount of videos this week. How many can I edit next week? And I kind of have a vicious cycle with myself. But I think the work ethic plus continuously trying to have a good head on my shoulders in terms of just like work-life balance. Like if I continue to try to implement it, I think that I will, you know, I'll go really far. And I think intention is a big thing too. If you have good intentions, I think it'll take you farther. And for me, like, again, oh my gosh, I just keep going back to our conversations in the hallway, but we were talking about like Jeff Bezos and how, some people can perceive him as being a good person who got good things or a bad person who got good things. And personally, I feel like when I'm looking at Jeff Bezos, I have no idea what he's feeling on a day-to-day, right? So he could have all this money in the world and have this driver of being the most efficient and the most cost-effective person, but he could ultimately hate his life. So what I'm trying to do is to sustain the life I have, grow, help people, but also maintain a semblance of happiness and quality of life, for sure.
It's all a matter of perspective.
Yeah. So I feel like my time on my parking is gonna run out, but I so appreciate you guys for being here, making the best out of the situation.
It's like, congratulations, guys, we did it. And round of applause.
We sure did, and I don't think we like bothered that many people either being out here. So like, shout out to the tenants of this building.
Yeah.
But oh yeah, snaps, respectful snaps for the.
Because we don't want to clap and make any more noise than they already have.
But I will leave anything and everything these guys want me to share as far as like social media or ways to connect with them in the description down below, the description of the episode, YouTube, wherever you're listening and or watching. And I better see 1, 2, 3, 4 new ratings and reviews on the podcast. Okay?
Wait, 3, because I'm already on the.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. I've already been there.
Okay. That is very fair.
So she had to come out and say,
Yeah. So yeah, because sometimes with like the Apple ID username, I can't really tell like who it is. I'm like, I know I've asked someone for the review, but unless they like tell me, oh, this was my review, I'm like, who is this? If it doesn't say like your actual name.
Yeah. Mine is XXX redacted at iCloud.com.
Okay. Perfect. So, I've got 3 more reviews coming my way, as well as everyone who is watching this right now, go leave a review. It helps the podcast and it helps me.
This was live?
What do you mean this was live? No, I'm talking to the people who are going to watch it.
Oh, hello. I'm sorry. I didn't know. I thought they were there. I was gonna
Live broadcasting right now. I don't do a lot of lives, but I wouldn't be opposed to them.
I just didn't want to be rude. I would say hello.
Oh, no, I
all.
would have let you know.
As there's some great quotes in life that I've heard, one of them, hopefully I heard this one a while back ago, and it's, since life has gotten crazier, but it's strangers are friends you just haven't met yet.
Yeah, this is very true. We were strangers, now we are friends.
Yeah.
Hallelujah. All right, but I will see you guys in the next episode, and thank you for watching and or listening. Bye.
Bye-bye.
bye.